Hi everyone, it's Kelly here, Chief Content Strategist and Copywriter at Craft My Content. Today's video tutorial is a guide to help you create your own 1-month content calendar. Now, if you're not too sure what a content calendar is and why you would need one, content calendars are awesome and they're kind of life-changing actually. As small business owners, I think you can get in the habit of being reactive with your content and not really putting the forethought into it and aligning it content that you produce to your business goals. So how a content calendar helps you is that you can sit down a month in advance and actually plan and create and schedule the content that you want to be producing for the rest of the month. So we're going to get cracking right now, and we're going to run through how to look at your content plan a little bit more strategically, and then we'll put it into action. So here's just a basic one-page template that I put together in Word. So it doesn't need to be fancy. It really just needs to document your intentions for your 1-month content plan. So we'll start with marketing objectives, because I guess your marketing isn't going to be successful unless you have an end goal in mind. And when you have some clarity about what it is that you're trying to achieve with your marketing efforts, then quite obviously, the more likely it is that you'll achieve that desired result. So I'm going to use my own business as an example. And so marketing objectives, and we'll just look at October for the month because it's the month that I'm recording this. We'll look at that as our example month. So marketing objectives could be anything. It could be you're producing an ebook and you're publishing an ebook at the end of the month. It could be that you have a new e-course or you want people to sign up to your webinar. So your marketing objective, could be anything like that. For me, I'm launching a 5-day challenge. So to be specific and measurable, I want to achieve 100 new signups. By new, I mean people that I haven't interacted with before. So 100 new signups to the challenge. So what that means is now the content that I produce is going to help attract the right audience, engage that audience, and lead them on the journey to signing up for my campaign challenge. So now we'll look at business priorities and events. This is entirely up to you what is happening in your business schedule, but what I mean here is business birthdays, anniversaries, celebrations, client celebrations if you've landed a new contract, if you've been with them for 5 years and you want to celebrate that. It could be more general, like it's the end of financial year and you're accountants and you want to celebrate that you've just busted ass for the last month and now you get a few weeks where you can kind of kick back a little bit. It could be anything like that, and it's just about keeping that front of mind and celebrating achievements and promoting business events to connect with your audience more authentically. So for me, there'll be a website relaunch, the challenge is a priority, and let's just say I had a business birthday as well. All right, audience, I'm not going to get into the specifics of audience because it is really something that you should know. If you don't know, then please do your research and really knuckle down and define your ideal audience, and as a persona as well. So male, female, 25, 55, are they tech savvy, are they technophobe, where do they hang out online, are they even online, what are their interests, are they married, do they have kids, what color are their underwear. I kind of get really specific about that, and then when you have that audience persona in mind, have a think again now. Who in that audience is going to be really interested in what you're trying to achieve with your marketing objectives? So in my case, I want people to sign up to the challenge. So what are the kind of people in my audience that this will appeal to, and how can I then tailor my content and my language to really attract those people and get them to sign up? So it will be, for me, potentially busy business owners, they're do-it-yourselfers, they're suffering content overwhelm. There. All right, so content theme, again, tying it back to your marketing objective. What is your content theme for the month? And so in this case, let's make it, content plans. Now this is quite a high level theme, and the beauty in that is that you can flesh that out and pull a lot of subtopics out of it. So like how to create, one, benefits, differences, value, whatever you want to, whatever you can pull out of that high level content theme, and then you use the subtopics as your specific content pieces, but all of it needs to relate back to that high level content theme. All right, content types. So this is where you get specific. So will it be blog posts? Will it be video, infographics, webinar, ebooks? What are the things that you'll be, that you'll be producing during this month that is aligned to your marketing objective? So the list goes on here, it goes on forever, but specifically for me in this example, I'm just going to stick with these three, which will be 4 blog posts, 1 video, and infographics to support my content. So now we'll quickly run through content platforms and frequency. So again, each to their own. So you know your audience, you know where they hang out, you know what is going to appeal to them and where. So even though I have this massive list, you may actually only be present on 2 of those platforms, or maybe just 1, and you've got a really engaged audience in one. So again, this is up to you and it's your call, but figure out where you want to post and then the frequency, and you need to actually commit to doing it. So Facebook for me is 1 post, 1 per day, Monday to Friday, and my audience is mostly online after 5 p.m. So same thing with Instagram, say it's 2 per day, Sunday to Saturday, and these guys are 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So go through and do it for whatever the platforms are that you're using, and make sure that you get really specific. And then when you get to creating the plan, which we'll do in a second, refer back to this list so that you know when you need to be marking entries in your plan to publish content. Finally, we're just going to look at seasonal events. It's something just fun and personable, and it helps build your personal business brand. So what's happening, what do you celebrate, what's in the public eye, what are some time specific events that are happening that will grab your audience's attention. So that could be Christmas or Easter or Mother's Day or Father's Day or what have you. Using October, the obvious one is Halloween. One for me specifically, I like to follow support charity events. So for October is a big one for me, and I'll be sharing updates about the work that I'm doing there during the month. So there you have it. It's really simple, and it's just something you can set up yourself. And then and it will guide you now to all the content that you produce for the following month. You can keep referring back to this just as a check-in, and is it important, is it helpful, and is it going to resonate, and is it going to help me get my audience closer to my marketing objective, which is for me, sign up to the challenge. All right, so now we'll just quickly jump into the calendar itself. Again, this is a super simple template. You can create your own. You can download this. It's a free download. I'll include the link with the video. But essentially all it is it's Monday to Sunday across the top. Then you've got the different weeks. So it's actually 4 weeks worth of content. It might be a 5-week month, bear that in mind. You can add another one. But also list your channels. So whatever your channels are, I do have everything kind of listed here, but it's up to you. I don't use Snapchat, I don't use Twitter, sorry. It's up to you to pick and choose what it is that you're using. And then here we go. So referring again to your plan, you start with, for me, I always start with a blog post. So in this particular example, we're saying how to create a content calendar. So that's my blog. I publish all my blogs on Wednesdays. I promote all my blogs as well on my social platforms. So there's no point creating and publishing blog posts and videos if you're not actually going to the effort of promoting them and publishing and telling your audience that it's there. So if they don't know that it's there, they're not going to find it. So Facebook. The other thing you can do is, just because you've posted it once this particular week, that's not the end game for you. You can also republish it. So let's look at it next Friday as a flashback Friday, say. Put the link to your blog up again, maybe send different commentary, maybe include a picture or something else that's different, but don't be afraid to reshare it the following week. And then again, like a year later, like just the percentage of your organic audience that sees the post that you put up each day, it's really, really small. And so everyone is not seeing your content. So don't be afraid to share it again, and to try and get it in front of the eyes of people who didn't necessarily see it the first time. What else can we do here? Let's repurpose it. Let's turn it into a YouTube tutorial, and then publish a YouTube tutorial on the Thursday. What else can you do with a how-to? Well, it's perfect for an infographic. So maybe on Friday, that's mildly annoying. So you turn it to an infographic, and you share it on your Pinterest page. So go through and then look at your business events. So maybe Tuesday, it's Halloween. So you want to do a Halloween post. Maybe Thursday is your business birthday. So and so forth. So go through and put your key events in, your business events, the seasonal events, populate that, and there you have your, and then also, any other third-party blogs or articles or news updates or anything that actually supports your cause. So schedule them in as well, because having third-party endorsement of your topic idea is obviously adding credibility to your own expertise. So once you've populated your weekly calendars, then you need to look at time to schedule your content. So I am a big fan of scheduling my stuff on Sundays, because I'm not distracted by my business priorities. So Facebook will always be scheduled on Sunday night. Same with Instagram. Pinterest is usually on the spot. So once I create the infographic, I'll just flick it to my Pinterest. But anywhere that you can schedule it, like emails as well. If you're converting your blogs into emails, which you should be doing if you've got a great subscriber list, and then making sure that you take time to write the email and then schedule the email to be sent, and then choosing the best time to send that email as well. So I always send mine on Thursday afternoons. I think Thursday seems to be the magic number. So I don't know if that's a good strategy or not, because you might have a bit of competition, but you know your audience. So figure out when they're online and when they want to see it, and schedule away. So they're the main points to creating a more effective content calendar that ensures that the content that you are creating is not wasted, that it's actually purposeful and valuable to your audience, as well as your business, because it all aligns to your overall marketing objective. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. Otherwise, best of luck. And yeah, I can't wait to see how you go.